Well, hello, I'm back as promised, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go in and continue on with this design. Last time we created the schematic symbol file, and what we want to do this time is to do the PCB symbol file. So let's see, I'm on page 22. And let's see, what do we want to do? We want to click here for PCB symbols. Alright, and let's see, I bet they're going to make us create a new library. So, let's see, yes, I think they are. Basically go in and yep, that's what we're going to do. Create a new library. So let's create a new library. And let's call this also tutorial. And click enter. And so now we have a tutorial library in the PCB symbols. And as you can see, there's nothing there. So what are they going to have us do this time? Well, this time we're going to use the wizard. Now, last time we didn't use the wizard, we just did new item and created it from scratch, and a lot of times that's what you'll have to do. Other times you can find something that has the layout that you already have, but today what we're going to do is we're going to use the wizard. Okay, so let's click on that wizard, and look what it does. It actually starts out with something here. So as you can see, this is a surface mount one, but we could also do something with pin and holes. Okay, so what does it tell us to do now? So it basically goes in, we do the wizard, open the symbol, what's the next page? Okay, so it gives us a footprint example, some information here. Okay, let's see, and so it looks like this is what we're going to do. It's a single outline integrated circuit. SOIC, we talked about that part, right? Okay, and so let's go in and let's do next. That was easy. Okay. And in here is saying that we want to select metric. Okay. We're doing mostly meals in this class, or actually all meals, but let's go along with it. So we got millimeters, and it says that we want what? 2 for precision. Okay, that's good. And we're not using any technology files, so let's go and click next again. Alright, now here we're choosing a package. This is a standard one. Now the SOIC, the dips, those should be really familiar to us. There's chips, ball gate arrays, PGA array, cans, axial, SIPs, MELFs, SODs, and SOTs. How about that? Okay, so what do we got to do in this one here? Alright, let's see here. Looks like what we do is we select the SOIC, which is already there, but we'll select it again. Now if we selected something else, like a SOT, that'd be that. SOD, MELF, SIP, Q. Look at all these packages. PGA, whoa. Okay, so but we're going to do the SOIC in this one. Okay, and on the origin, we're going to select center. Okay, that's good. And notice that here you have the option of pin 1 And so this would be pin 1 for this SOIC. And if this was a pin and hole, that's what we'd use. But since we're doing a surface mount, it's usually better to put it in the center. So we're going to do that. And let's see, what else do we need to do? We want to go in and we need, oops, let's see, where am I at? I'm getting lost here. So we selected SOIC, credit name, okay. Looks like we need to select a pin number there. So where are we putting pin 1 at on here? Well, it looks like to me that we want to put pin position down where? Well, he goes and puts it right here. Okay, so this is component name position. Okay, so right here is where we have the S location is going here for the origin of the chip. And remember, this is the reference. This is where any writing it would do, like the name of the chip, like U1 or whatever. All that information goes down here. And so, yeah, that's a good place. We could put it anywhere, right? We don't really want to put it in the center, although I've seen some components where they did this, and I guess they just got in a big hurry when they were doing some of these designs. But all these are good places, but we're going to put it right there. Okay, so what else do we need to do? Well, I guess we move on to the next menu. We've added all that. And so here's where we actually go into the nitty-gritty. This is the pad page. Okay, now we're going to do something a little bit different on our design than what they do. Remember, we have 4 pins associated with this chip, so we're basically going to go in and have at least 4. Now we could basically go in and just have 1, 2, 3, 4, but here's the thing, is we're going to need some power pins. Okay, so we're going to need to leave a couple of pins out here for putting the power there. And so what we're going to do is, for the total number of pins, we're going to do 6. Let's see, will that be right? 1, 2, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We could do 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to need 2 pins for what? Well, for ground and power. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we got 3 inputs. I got 1 output. And then we got the power. Now, the other thing we could do, which might even be better, is you usually like to put pins together that are like the power. So we could say 1, 2, 3 is the input, right? And then we could have the output here, or the output here, and then we could have power and ground here. So that might be something worth considering, and that'll make it easier for the layout too. To have the power and ground here, then have this out, and then have these coming as the input. Okay, now here's the thing, is when we're numbering these, is that you know, different pins, like this is usually pin 1 down here, and so on and so on. So let's go in and put the pin numbers. Let's don't hide them, let's show them. And the pin numbering here is counterclockwise, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we could also go the other way, and notice what it does then is it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's think about this. Which would probably be better for us? Well, it really doesn't matter. So let's just go with him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're doing counterclockwise, and we're not going to worry about the, you know, where they have the pins to do the layout right now. We'll do that later. But this is traditionally pin 1, pin 2, pin 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now we got a whole bunch of other stuff here to do. The shape's rectangle. Now for style, he says basically just go in and do what? He says style PS1, it looks like. Let's go to the next page. He goes, oh, there it is. Style is REC, so let's type that in. If you pull this down, you notice there's PS1 there, but let's put in what he did. REC 6530. Okay, and it's a rectangle shape. Now notice that these two here don't have any little arrows next to them, so these are determined by what you do over here. Okay, so you can't directly change these. You change these, then it causes that to change. Now let's look at this here. I'm going to try to make this a little bit bigger. Well, it looks like it's not going to let me. Maybe I can drag it. No. Okay, well, hopefully you can read it on yours. But notice what you got a bunch of different dimensions here. So let me just say, all this yellow stuff is actually the pad, and this right here is the actual lead that's going to sit on top of the pad. Okay, so this little internal rectangle is the actual lead, and you can see the B dimension is actually the thickness of this lead. Okay, and so that's right there. And then what you got is the overall dimension or width of this whole pad is PW, the length is PL, and these right here are calculated and put in here, but they depend on these other values. You got L is the length of this footprint on top of the pad. You got T is the spacing here, H is the spacing there, and so on and so on. Okay? Alright, so let's start by putting some values in. So for E, this is the distance here, we're going to put in 0.5. Now understand these are in millimeters, so let's go in and put 0.5, and don't worry about what it's doing to the shape here. We'll fix that in a minute. So 0.5 for little e, 4.9 for here, and then we're going to put 0.55 for here, 0.5 for here, and 0.5 for there, and then 0.2 for here. Okay, so we got 0.2, 0.05, 0.05, 0.55, 65, 3, 4, 9, and 5, and took this away, so let's put that back. REC. Okay. Oops. Okay, go back. Huh, I don't like to put that in there, does it? REC 6530. Okay, looks like we got everything here. Let's see. This one here actually has pin 1 position, which we established that was pin 1 before. Show pin numbers, so we're showing the pin numbers, and counterclockwise. Now we're going to do something that he doesn't do, or she doesn't, or whatever he identifies or she identifies as, is we want to move these, but it's not letting us do it now. Maybe it will in a little bit. But let's go to next. Okay, and here is asking us about what? The silk screen. Okay, do we want a silk screen? Yes, we do. We want it on the top layer because that's where we're putting this component. Now, we could put it in documentation if we want to, but you could actually put a silk screen on the bottom side, but we're not worrying about that now. If we place it somewhere, then hopefully the silk screen will go on the same side as the component, right? That's where surface mount components are different than, well, actually they're the same. You know, wherever the component is, that's where you have the silk screen. Okay, so let's see, what do we want to do here? We want to put, let's see, yes for the silk screen, top silk screen. We want it outside the pads. We want this 0.25. We want the notch at the end, and we want to put that at 0.5. Okay. We could put a dot at pin 1, and I'm going to do that. And so you can see from the silk screen that this is pin 1. Sometimes what you'll do on actual pin through hole components is you put a square and then all the others will be round. So it's kind of helpful when you're doing any kind of things like this that you can do to minimize the chance of you doing something bad or backwards or whatever. Let's see. So I think that's pretty much it for this. So we can go in and do next. Okay. And then we can go in and on this layer, do you want placement shape for your footprint? And we're going to put this not on the silk screen, but we're putting it on documentation level 1. Okay, and this stays as 0.5, yes. Okay, and then we go to next. Okay, and we need a footprint name. Okay, and we're going to type into there RM-10. Okay, that's good. And we want to save this in the footprint. And we want to edit the footprint now. We're going to click something different now. So we click Finish. Okay, and so what we can do is let's go in and center this. And what I'm going to do is something that you don't see done in a lot of the models. You think things all jumbled up. So let's go in here and let's move these reference marks, and we leave the S there. Okay, for some reason it's not letting me move these. Huh, that's weird. Okay, well, I'm not going to waste much time here, but I was able to do this before. I don't know what's going on here, but anyway, if you can do it, do it. Move them around. For some reason, it's not letting me do it here. Let me do this. Let me close it and save. All right, let's go back and let's go to PCB symbols. And let's see. Oh, they're gone now. So, well, that's good. Go back again, and let's do edit. And let me move these, okay. Let's see here. What if I click on this whole thing? I click on this pad and go to properties, add our pin number. Okay, we'll leave it at there. All right, because we're running out of time here. Okay, so we've got it saved. and basically there it is right there. Okay. All right, let's save this file. And well, actually I saved it, so anyway, we're done, and we'll be back.